not have been even 16, now 17, now 17, 18.
Like shooting words.
Why are you repeating the exact same thing that you just said?
Oh, this is like Turkish dance. Everybody does speak at the same time. I only have 2 ears. I cannot listen to 5 people at the same time.
Hello.
I think there definitely is. I think it depends on the language. It also depends on the speaker.
I agree. There are languages that are so fast. I used to have a Spanish speaker in my class and she sounded like she was rapping like all the time.
I agree. I think Spanish is a very fast language. But then it also depends on country to country.
I agree with you both. Like there's like languages that may sound fast, but maybe in their own language it's actually not that fast, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's so many like Spanish speaking countries, around 15 to 20, and so many different accents that I think Dominican Republic is the fastest accent when it comes to Spanish, yeah.
That's where my classmate was from.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There we go.
Theory proved. Yeah, it depends also not only different cultures, like different countries itself, but also different regions within a country. You would have people with very different accents.
Absolutely. I have relatives in Turkey, and my relatives that live on the countryside, they speak so fast you cannot understand anything. But my relatives who live in the big city, they speak slower.
Oh.
It's really interesting.
I was living in London and we order food from Tesco, like the grocery delivery, right? And this man comes on my door, he knocks, I'm like, hello, and he speaks so fast, I could tell that he was like from Northern England. I couldn't understand anything. I was very embarrassed and I was like, smiling, I know that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you think any other language is quick?
Well, I feel like French can be really fast sometimes. I speak very slowly, but among the languages that I speak is just so fast-paced, and all the French people I've met, they're also really fast speakers.
Maybe Italian. I would say Italian, yeah. It's quite similar to Spanish, but they speak very fast. Very, very fast. It's crazy.
What about other parts of the world?
Oh, Arabic maybe? It sounds fast.
Maybe that's because we don't understand it.
Yeah.
I feel like if we don't
I mean.
understand the language, it just sounds like high speed.
Right.
Tagalog, like there's so many like consonants like mixed. It may sound like it's very fast, same as like Indonesian maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I know Polish. I feel like when my friend Anya, who's on the channel a lot, when she speaks, oh my goodness, every time I'm like, why are you speaking so fast?
It sounds like sweet Russian, I would say.
Sweet Russian.
Sweet Russian.
I would say it's a quick Russian. Like it's
quick
very
but sweet.
Yeah.
Like
It's a sweet
sped up
accent.
sweet
Yeah.
Russian.
担任我们的大使，但是同时也维持他们身心灵的健康。
Mandarin Chinese is the most spoken language in the world with over 8 billion speakers, and when you first listen it might seem quite slow, but don't be fooled, it's like cramming a novel into a postcard.
我知道 faces of heaven 就像青春一样
What? It's all about how much information is in one single syllable or one single sound.
这个萝卜皮在上面嘞，我们只要轻轻的这样蹭2下，它马上就可以干干净净，不要用指甲去抠了。还有最后一个功能，我们在家里做菜，很多人不喜欢胶片。
And Mandarin's a great example. See, Mandarin averages 5.18 syllables per second, which is on the slow side, believe it or not, but it crams a ton of meaning into each syllable. Check this out. See what I mean? Just one syllable, one sound, it really packs a punch, because also you've got tones, and Mandarin's tones, where the sound goes up or down or stays the same, it instantly changes the meaning. So
I would agree with the video because that it's extremely fast. I'm sure there are very fast Mandarin speakers, but it's more the tones that make the language hard because they have, even with just one syllable, like a whole word with a lot of meaning in it. And then you also have the variation in tones, like 5 different tones in Mandarin, right? Just getting the tone wrong, you might say a completely different word, right?
The different dialects in China, because Mandarin is one thing. We also have Cantonese, right?
Yeah. And that has 7 tones, or sometimes 9 tones, so it's like, it's crazy.
What I think is really interesting is how much information they can put into just one syllable. Because I've learned kanji, like, because I speak Japanese, and it's not everything the same. I know there are some differences, but even in Japanese, from my experience, like there's so much meaning that's just in one syllable. So it must be even more difficult even when you speak Mandarin with all the different levels, as you mentioned.
There we go. I told you guys.
You did get it right.
Quý vị và các bạn, Nam Bộ đang trải qua một đợt ngập lụt chưa từng có trong lịch sử.
Rồi, sao xin chào cô chú đi San. Xin chào cô cháu, xin chào các bạn, xin chào. Sao học không cái này nhỉ?
There's this really fascinating theory that our brains perceive a difference between machine gun rhythmed language and Morse code rhythmed language. Yeah, that's actually what they called it. And Vietnamese definitely falls into the machine gun category. It's fast and relentless, especially with its 6 tones.
Ma, 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 ma.
It sounded exactly
That's 5.28.
because they have very short sounds, right? They're kind of like, I feel like they're very cut up. Like the words are very quick and cut up, so it kind of feels like it's very quick when they're speaking.
The machine gun comparison was just hilarious.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I'm dead. Like they used to say that about Spanish. Sometimes when I speak, I feel like I'm you know what I mean?
It's like shooting words.
Right.
I feel attacked.
So that's why I found actually interesting that like they said Mandarin instead of Cantonese, because I feel like Cantonese sounds a little bit kind of has that cadence that Vietnamese also has. It's kind of like more
But you know what happens with Cantonese? It's more like singing. That's the difference between Mandarin and Cantonese. Mandarin is very flat. In Cantonese it goes like, like let's say Spanish for example. I don't know. English? I'm dead. I bet it's British.
Bad, really, really bad. You know I'm bad, you know, bad, really, really bad. You know I'm bad, come on, you know, bad, really, really bad.
To be or not to be, that is a question whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and hours of very just fortune to consequence to see of troubles and by posing in them to die, to sleep, pretend to dream. You get the idea.
Surprise! Well, I wasn't going to include English, but how could I not when we have the FedEx guy? I just wanted to ask him how on earth he even does this. If you have 5 seconds to spare.
So I went home and I started flipping through the book and decided I wasn't going to eat a car, swallow lead pipes. So the next best thing was to lock myself in a room and teach myself how to do the fast talking.
Excuse me, what?
Somewhere like New York, you meet people who can switch gears like bad weather rolling in.
Being from New York, I think people automatically talk a lot faster to start off with. I mean, you can talk as fast as you want in New York and nobody even blinks an eye.
And let's not forget Texas.
11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
That's not speaking.
That's like an auction. Everyone speaks fast in an auction.
Literally.
There's no way to understand English if they speak that fast. I think the first time I've been to, it was the UK at the airport. Man talked to me and he started with, "Hey sweetheart." I was like, okay, this is gonna be easy. And then he just
I'm dead.
yes.
I think on average, like English is not that fast. I can see that happening, but I feel like on average people don't speak English that fast. So I guess we come back to the theory of like regions and specific places being a little bit faster than other places. Yeah.
त्याचा के सिंगर आहे बट तेव्हा इंटरनेट वगैरे नव्हतं किंवा ते कसं सर्च करायचं माहिती काढायचं माहित नव्हतं बट ते गाणं मला इतकं आवडलेलं ना.
Hindi hits 6.55 syllables per second. And it sounds fast because Hindi is, well, it's one of the official languages of India and more than 600 million people speak it in cities like Mumbai.
15,000 की शॉपिंग करके आए ये पापा कहाँ महंगी है 1100 रुपए की जीन पैंट महंगी नहीं है हमारे टाइम पे हम 20 रुपए की पैंट पहनते थे कभी कभी तो पड़ोसी से मांग ली बड़े भाई से मांग ली वो टाइम अलग था अब जमाना बदल गया है.
If you decide to learn Hindi, well, one thing that works in your favor is it has a lovely clear vowels and consonants. There's only one way to say each vowel, A-E-I-O-U, so you can skip through sentences without sacrificing meaning. And
So see, even from these videos, I don't find it to sound too quick either. Depends on the environment, right? Like if you're in a hustling, bustling like market where people have to, you know, deal with things quickly, they will speak a bit quicker. But, you know, if you're in like a service where, you know, they have to offer you things and this and that, maybe they will slow it down. So I think it depends, yeah. It's contextual.
To me, it sounded super fast, just like a shotgun. Like, I think it's really about this, like, the faster paced the life is, the more the people are hustling, the faster they just speak. That's what it sounds like to me.
I need to see the rest though.
Oh, okay, let's listen to your language.
She's in the top.
Erkek olan karettanın sinyalinde bir düzensizlik var. Aciliyetimizin sebebi bu.
Turkish? That's a funny one. Well, Turkish might not seem like an obvious choice for speed, especially if you've never watched a Turkish movie.
Biri diğerinin 3 katı olan 2 daire var bu soruda ve bunu kimse doğru cevaplayamadı.
It's not even a very hard language to learn, but it's tough to use in real life, and that's because of how a conversation will go when you're speaking with a native Turkish speaker. When you hang out with them enough, you realize that Turks like to speak all at once, and when they do it at 6.87 syllables per second, you might get dizzy trying to keep up. 6.87.
Everybody does speak at the same time. I thought I was being crazy and that whenever I visit Turkey, that just my Turkish is bad, but I guess they do speak really fast and all at the same time. So you just have to multitask. You have to just listen to everybody. I only have 2 ears. I cannot listen to 5 people at the same time.
I feel like each language comes with its sets of challenges, right? Like, for example, if people like to talk over each other, that's an additional thing to have to worry about. It's even faster, right? Because you're listening to multiple people speak at the same time, so you're getting double the information.
Wow, that's crazy. Do they actually speak on top of each other?
Yeah, it's a culture thing.
Everyone has something to say.
I would be like, I'm never coming back here again, please. Don't let me come back.
Ora, não, deixa eu só editar e postar. Mas voltando, eu ganhei em Londres, perdi na Irlanda quando eu ia começar a gingar, pá, ai.
Você tá pensando ali, organizando seu pensamento em palavras e a fala não consegue acompanhar. Já teve essa percepção?
Portuguese is like speaking to the beat of a song, and when I was living in Brazil, I really didn't care that people spoke fast. I just got so swept up in the beautiful sounds and rhythms, samba, bossa nova, axé, and it speeds through at 6.88 syllables per second.
Yes, we do speak fast in Brazil. We do, actually.
Are you Brazilian?
I'm half Brazilian.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Very cool. I live with 2 Brazilians, so I feel like I'm starting to also pick up on a lot of Portuguese myself. I agree with the statement that it's melodic, because I do feel like they're kind of like singing when they're speaking. But I do not, even just listening to this, I didn't find that it was particularly fast.
No, but you know what the thing is? Every time we speak, it sounds like we are arguing. You know what they say about German speakers? It sounds like German. It's like you're arguing all the time. That's Brazilian Portuguese as well.
I hear that about Serbian a lot too. What's happening with your parents? I'm like, oh no, we're just talking about our day. And I'm like, oh.
To me, Portuguese does sound like the beat of a song. It's very melodic. I do not understand anything, but yeah, it just does. Oh, this is like Turkish dance.
I feel like Portuguese speakers meow when they speak because there's a lot of meow, meow, now. So I feel like, there's always meowing involved.
You're gatinhas.
Yeah, gatinhas.
Me and my family, for example, it's more complicated for us to understand Portuguese people when they speak. It's like Mandarin and Cantonese, literally. It's the same thing. There's a lot of words in Portuguese from Brazil and Portuguese from Portugal don't mean different things. I cannot really put an example right now because I haven't speak Portuguese in a couple months. And polyglot problems, right? Yeah. Polyglot problems. Brazilian Portuguese is the best.
That's such a Brazilian statement. They're so proud of their Portuguese.
We are proud. See Italian.
There we go.
I told you, girls.
La bambina è capace di interrompere quello che sta facendo perché le viene in mente qualcosa che deve assolutamente fare.
Italian sounds like lots of short bursts of words, and if you listen to native Italians speaking on the radio or a podcast, well, I won't blame you at all for wondering what this one insanely long word is that they're saying. But I promise you they're actually saying lots of different words. They really are.
Di guardare un film in italiano non lo capiremo. Sarà sempre così.
What she said. So how fast is it? We are talking 6.99 syllables per second. That's basically 7. But you should hear the southern dialects. Wow, some Italians have been recorded speaking naturally at 9 syllables per second.
I'm not surprised.
Especially if you listen to them fight or be in a discussion, in a heated discussion. Woo!
That's even worse.
they just go on. It's like a bullet train just going. Yeah, exactly.
I used to have Italian neighbors. It was a family, 2 sons, mom and dad. They were arguing all the time, or maybe they were just talking, but they sounded like arguing, and they were just really fast speaking. And I think they're also so expressive with the way they speak, so it makes it sound even more out there.
Yeah, that's true.
But I love that though. It's so fun to listen to.
Portuguese and Spanish are the closest ones to Italian, so we can understand each other.
Cool. So speaking Portuguese is like having a cheat code to all languages.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently. Apparently.
French.
There we go. Look, we actually chose the right languages.
Dans cet épisode, j'aimerais vous offrir une idée assez contre-intuitive, c'est que les unions consanguines sont généralement extrêmement avantageuses pour ceux qui les pratiquent.
Between the speed and the elisions, you might think that you need subtitles in real life, but listen, 'cause I'm serious now, you can definitely learn French if you want to. Don't let this put you off. It wouldn't be so crazy popular if it was impossible to learn. The speed freak language number 2, I'm going to throw in 2 honourable mentions that I think deserve to be here. Basque and Catalan can both be very fast at 7.2 syllables per second each.
Okay, I might add, if you girls don't know, Basque and Catalan are dialects or languages. There's like a bit of a fight there from Spain, from Catalunya and País Vasco. It sounds a little bit like French. It's like a mix of like French and Spanish kind of, and like their own language.
It's interesting.
That's the thing, it's like once you speak the language, you kind of don't feel it anymore. Especially if you speak it from a very young age, you're kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe it's quick, but maybe it's not that quick. I don't know.
Yeah, that is interesting because usually when people think about elegance, they connect it to speaking slowly, but French people do speak really fast, so it's a fun contradictory statement there.
I feel like you can still sound sophisticated and fast. It might just be kind of like a proof that you are smart, you know, maybe when you can connect words very quickly or ideas and speak in a way that is comprehensible to other people. But yeah, I agree. It is a very interesting statement that one of the fastest languages is also considered one of the most elegant sounding ones.
Wow. But it's also, isn't it also considered like one of the really romantic ones because people go to Paris and to the Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
But you're from Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
French, would you think is the fastest? Swiss French or France French?
So it's both quite different, and I come from the German-speaking part of Switzerland. However, I think that French from France, it sounds easier to understand, in my opinion. And it's also nicer to listen to. Spanish.
Español, vamos.
Eso acepta mi trabajo, ¿entiendes, Madalena?
Culpa de que tu trabajo se haya ido a la mierda,
no puedo seguir viviendo
es que no te enteras de nada y no creces y no maduras. ¿Sabes lo triste que es para mí?
It's the perfect example of a machine gun rhythmed language.
There we go.
Spanish is spoken 25% faster than English on average, but what if I told you that you're not actually getting more information at that speed?
Pueden reconocer esa iglesia atrás de nosotros, saben perfectamente dónde estamos, en este lugar que ha sido catalogado en varias ocasiones como la ciudad más bonita del mundo, uno de los destinos turísticos más visitados de nuestro país. ¿Y por qué estamos aquí?
¿Sabías que el inglés medieval mola muchísimo? Ahora hay gente que dice que es una lengua muy simple porque no tiene ni género, ni casos, las formas verbales son prácticamente iguales en todas las...
No comments, no comments.
Spanish people, they repeat or they talk around the same topic a lot. So like in the example, the guy was like, okay, we are in this place that is a very nice place to be that we are in. And it's like, why are you repeating the exact same thing that you just said?
Yeah,
so, so they do use more words to say the exact same thing that you would say in English. But yeah, to me, definitely, like this example was perfect. It was very machine gun, like quick.
It's machine gun, we decorate a lot, we talk a lot, and do not learn Spanish. It's difficult to learn.
Yeah, I lived in Spain for a year. So I studied in Spanish in Madrid, Universidad Complutense.
I've been there for a vacation in Madrid. Madrid. Without the list.
Madrid.
It tickles my ear. I love it. Number 1 is Japanese.
So you speak Japanese, right?
I was thinking about mentioning Japanese, and then I was like, no, it's not that fast. But it's on rank 1. That's so surprising.
To me, it sounds quite fast, but I didn't think about Japanese either.
But then the words, I wouldn't say are that like short, right? I feel like the words are a bit long, and the grammar is similar to Korean, which kind of like makes everything a little bit longer, right? Like having to use the formal like grammar at the end. So I don't know, it just didn't occur to my mind that that could be like the fastest language.
At the same time, they can omit a lot of things like the subject, object in the sentence, just like you do in Korean. So I think they can put in a lot of information in a short sentence.
Okay, cool.
Conmigo no te lo encuentro めちゃくちゃ多様性があるんですよね。まずメガネをかけてる女の子がメガネを外して美少女だったりとか、逆にメガネをかけてニコニコして見てる主人公のメガネを奪ってつけてる女子が奪っちゃったぞみたいな影で、それもすごく可愛いんですよね。
And the winner is, well, it's a language where precision is highly valued in many aspects of the culture, coming in at 7.84 syllables per second.
That's a lot.
Japanese has simple syllables, one consonant followed by a vowel.
票数4日、票数で全然多くないんだ。ヒカキンさんが170票とかで、フィッシャーズ168、はじめしょち142、キヨ110。
So Japanese sounds fast not only because of syllable speed, but because speakers leave out details that listeners just get. So there's no need to over-explain. Very efficient.
Interesting.
Japanese sounds so cool. Like, I'm the type of person, I just love languages and the way they sound, and Japanese is just one of the coolest sounding languages in my opinion. So it's cool that they're ranking 1 on being the fastest language. Everybody wants to rank first.
Yeah. I feel like we should also do an honorable mention of Korean in that case, because I feel like it's very similar, at least in grammar, to Japanese. It doesn't sound the same, the words are also different, but I'm curious to know now the syllable speed of Korean as well, to kind of compare it. I don't know, this video is very their perimeter to kind of categorize which language is the fastest is the syllable speed. I feel like there are many other things that can also affect whether a language is spoken fastly or not. Or they even mentioned there were certain regions in Italian that were what was it? 9 words per, no, what was it?
Yeah, 9 syllables per second.
9 syllables per second, that. So I guess there is still a difference in regions of certain countries as well, and also just the speed in which certain people talk.
Which will be your rank 1 of languages?
I'm gonna stick by Spanish. I feel like Spanish sounds quicker.
I feel attacked.
Why?
Why Spanish? Why?
I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's a cool thing.
It's a cool thing. That's what makes Spanish even cooler, I feel like. One of the fastest languages in the world.
Such an attractive language. I don't know, you also have this confidence about yourself. I don't know if this comes with the language.
It comes with the Brazilianness too, I feel like.
Yeah,
she has
it's
that.
everything. It's everything.
She has the perfect mix, to be honest.
Thank you. Oh my God.
It was so interesting to see this rank. I love rankings and I love seeing this comparison of how many syllables fit into 1 second. I'm still very confused how 9 syllables can even fit into a second. I want to try. This is 1 second, right? Try to make 9 syllables. It doesn't work.
Wait, I can try something.
Okay.
Los murciélagos tienen las alas negras.
Oh, okay.
That was more than 9 syllables though. It's interesting that there's more Asian languages than European. I'm not surprised, to be honest, because the variety is even wider in Asia.
But it's exactly what we mentioned. We were like, okay, probably Romance languages, so Latin-derived languages, plus Asian languages. Those were kind of the main groups that we actually predicted from the start.
We didn't even mention Germanic languages at all.
Yeah, I'm not getting a fast vibe from German.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound fast.
It sounds like you're fighting, that's it.
That's a stereotype.
Actually, I learned German for 8 years. 8 years. I don't remember.
I mean, every time someone hears that you speak German, they're like, I can speak German. Nein. It's okay, stop.
Exactly. Today we reacted to the world's 10 fastest languages.
If you like the video, please like it and subscribe and comment down below.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.